Hi, welcome to Best Green Homestead, and today we're here to show you how to set up a brand new GQF cabinet incubator. We got this one a couple months ago and we haven't needed to set it up yet, and we're going to set it up today. This one is it's a little faded, but the 1500 series. So there's the 1202 and the 1500 incubator, and then there's also the 1502, which is the one with the hatching tray on the bottom. This one doesn't have the hatching tray, and we're gonna start by flipping it over and then opening the upside down side of the box and then flipping it back, and then you can pull the box off. The top, all you'll really need is this flat blade. That's the main tool. Okay. Sideways here. Flip it up. Pull over. Fold all the flaps outwards all the way, and then you want to gently flip it back over. It's a little easier with two people probably, but it's doable on your own. Okay, now it's back right side up. So now you just pull the box right off the top and the packaging should come with it. There we go. So like I mentioned, this is the 1500 incubator, so it only has the egg turning incubator and not the hatching tray on the bottom. So we've got over here to the left, you'll see this is one of the ones we got originally. This is the 1202E Sportsman. So it has, we don't have it in right now, but it has the hatching tray on the bottom, the plastic hatching tray, the 3 automatic egg turners, and they're set, you can set it to manual or you can set it to automatic. So they automatically turn the egg 6 times a day and keep it even to exercise the embryo. And then you got your water reserve on the top. We have them hooked up over, this one's a homemade bucket, but this is the GQF version where it has a quick connect over on the side. You fill up your bucket with distilled water to make sure you don't get corrosion in the top tray here. And then the water tray has your wick pads, and the fan blows the air on it to keep the humidity, and you can adjust it accordingly with the little plugs on the side. So this one's meant to be the Sportsman, but we use this old GQF. They're really reliable. This is a really old one we picked up, works like brand new. So we hatch in this one and we incubate in this one, and we have another old hatcher and another old incubator for that matter, but right now we got a brand new one. We're setting this one up, and then we're going to do our incubating in the 2 of those and hatching in the 1 or maybe 2. So we'll continue here. So you can remove all your packaging off the side. Now if most people homestead scale, you're just going to need the 1. They can hatch 270 eggs at a time. So you probably just need the 1 incubator and the tray on the bottom so you can hatch at the same time. Or you can use some of their GQF Hovabators on the top, and then that way you can just hatch in these little guys, which are also really reliable. We found they're our favorite brand. We've had up to 95, 99% hatch rates sometimes, not all the time obviously, but very reliable. We found some other brands not so reliable. They actually kill more eggs than they incubate. So now that the packaging's off, this is probably just tucked under here. So it's probably taped too, but you can just rip it. You can try and save your packaging for the warranty return if anything were to happen. Our last one was fine. We still have the packaging from it, so I'm not as worried about keeping this plastic perfect. Okay, pull that up. Here's your operating manual. So you can look into that and read it. I've already read all of them a couple times over, but just to show you here. So this is the cabinet model. It's going to be pretty generic. They're basically the same, the 1500 and 1200 series. You can see the hatching trays. That's for the hatcher. So they have the hatching model similar to this. This one's new in 2021, the beginning of the year. So, and it shows you all the controls. You can read through this. Your optional aftermarket water reserve system, worth it to save a lot of time and not worrying about running out of water. And they show some other products they have and whatnot. Like their brooders, which look awesome. I'm gonna get one of them as well. So that's that. Now we just need to slide it into the corner. Basically, you then flip it back over, and there's the little, if you see over here, there's little feet, and there's little sticky pads, and there's a board with little feet on the bottom, so you stick those on. And what you want to do right away is undo the packaging screws, get your hinge on, get your power cord out of the water tank on the top there, plug it in as soon as possible, make sure it works. We waited a little bit, we should have done it right away, but you get that plugged in, power cord goes in here, turn it on, make sure it's working, getting up the temperature as you're doing the other things, but just before you do that, you got to do the feet. We'll pause the video and come back as we get a hand here. Okay, now we need to remove the silver screw here. This is the shipping screw. They put it in there to hold the door shut, so it's not reliant just on the latch, and then you need to install your latch on the side. So unscrew this. Now that's what was holding it, so now when you undo these other two latches, it should open up fine. There's a little bit of packaging, cardboard for shipping there to hold everything tight. Now, you put that screw aside. Here's your feet that I was talking about. So those can just be, take the packaging off, boom, sticky pads, they just unpeel and stick on the bottom. So we'll put those aside. Now, here's our water tray. You can open this up. Inside you see your power cord and your wick pads. They come with 2 wick pads. You need usually 1 for incubating, and the 2 is when you want to hatch to increase your humidity. So we really don't need any of this right now, but I'm just going to do the full setup. So we'll show you, and then there's your latch. So it's all packed inside there. Slip your 2 wick pads inside like this, and then there's your water reserve. Now, the water tank, if you have the water reserve, it'll usually ship you a new one of these, but it has a hole in there, or you can drill a hole if you're rigging up one of these, and then a float goes inside. We have that in the other ones there, and then a little valve, so as the water gets low, it fills it up. Put that in the side. The water tube comes out the side for the reserve, and your tank hooks up with a quick connect on the side. If you pan over here, actually, you can see one of them hooked up currently. And while that's being done, I'll open the latch. So that's the quick connect. So if you want to change the water, go fill it up, you just pinch it off like that, and then you hit this right there, and it seals the water. You take your bucket, bring it to the tap, or if you want to make sure you're using good distilled water, just fill it up from the bottles. And you don't need to do that unless you're moving it around. Okay, now we've got that in there. We don't have a water reserve on this one. Power cord can be done later, but you know, undo it, it plugs in, and here's the latch. So in the corner here, you can see they have this this block. Now, you can see in this other incubator, it's not needed. You have it out. So what you're doing is you're putting these bolts through and actually bolting this new latch on to the side and taking off that block that's meant just for shipping. So, everybody got that done, we can take those off if we remove those. It's also a socket, small socket could be used instead. I had a flat blade handy, most people do. So unscrew that, and those go aside. Good idea to screw them back in so somebody doesn't get it in the foot. That's never fun. Okay. Now your latch with your bolts. So you take those off and feed them through, and we'll maybe pause and come back as that's going. Okay, so here we got the latch. It's going in the side. You got your two little nuts with a lock washer on it that's fixed to it. So the lock washer you want to put in to lock into the side of the cabinet incubator. So I'll slip these in. 1, 2. So, oh, these are actually a Phillips, so I'm gonna have to run and grab that, but I'll start by just hand tightening this. I can probably get it tight enough for sake of the video and come back and tighten them later. Okay, so that's snug on there. Now it's basically done, other than the feet on the bottom. So now that latch works, and then you want to put in your screw back in there. I thought they gave a shorter screw for it. Yeah, there is a black one on there, so they're supposed to, but it looks like they might have actually sent me an extra one of these screws instead of that screw. So maybe just a little packaging error, unless I'm wrong and I lost it, but yeah, it's good to have an extra one of those too. So I can just put this screw back in for now. That'll do the trick until we get another. Okay, should have brought the drill. Alright, so that's that. Now we got everything inside's ready to go. Plug in, just the feet left, and we're ready to fire it up. And oh, by the way, when you're tipping these over, you want to make sure never to tip them over on this side where the command center is. They've got, this one doesn't really have anything protruding too much, but you don't want to break the switch or any of this electrical. The old school ones have a little manual thing, dials sticking out for the temperature, so you don't want to mess that up. Now, I'll just pull it over this way a bit more. Okay. Flip it up. Make sure it's clean, kind of, where it's going. Old baby wet wipe would work perfect here. Don't have one on me. Okay, the feet. I don't have fingernails for this, but my wife was better at this part. Peel that off. Peel the other one off. Placement's probably not all that crucial. It's about an inch from the front of that one, so I'm going to go about an inch or two from the front of this one. Put it on there. Just put pressure, stick it on, and there we go. That one's on there snug. The other one, if I can get it started. There we go. Put that in the garbage over there later. Of course, I can't get it. It's always going to be on camera though too, right? Peel it off. Same thing on the back. Boom. Stick it on. I'm explaining things and making it seem longer than it actually is, but it's a very simple process to set these up. I was debating about making one, but by the time you buy everything to make it and put the time in, you're probably going to spend more money than buying one of these, you know, are reliable, so. Okay, now we can, there's a little film screen on there, you can peel that off, or you can leave it to protect it for a bit. if you like, but that's your window to see in for the, especially if you have chicks incubating, or hatching, sorry, rather than just incubating. So, put it onto the side. Now, placement of your incubator is crucial as well. You don't want to put it in a south-facing window. You don't want to put it somewhere where there's drafts. You don't want to put it ever in direct sunlight. So, and a constant temperature and humidity is crucial as well. So, basement is a pretty ideal space, and inside your house too, because your basement's cooler and it's steadier temperature. And so here we have it in the basement. This is a north-facing window, so it never really gets any sunlight. Definitely no direct sunlight. So it can change your temperatures on your incubating, your hatching, and really throw things off. And having an central air and air conditioning in the summer is going to help your hatch rate as well. You're not going to have those humidity swings. You're not going to have to adjust things on here as much. The humidity you need to adjust a bit. The temperature should take care of itself. But the humidity, you might need to add a wick pad, take a wick pad out, you might need to cover up the tray. So that's placement. So we're putting it here, we know it's a good spot, we've had good hatch rates. Now, plug in on the one end, take this off to the command center, and plug it in now. Maybe I didn't bring it close enough to a plug. Over this way a wee bit. Probably better over here anyways. And it's good to have it on a dedicated plug, but we'll plug it into that power bar. Now we're ready to roll. Now if you come over here, you can see your command center. So you can see here the sticker 1500 Professional. That's the brand, as we mentioned. Flick your switch on. Does it come on? I hear it coming on. You can hear the fan engaged. It's factory set to 100 Fahrenheit. Shows the current temperature, current humidity. Turn chart, it shows you the turns within the past 24 hours, I believe. So as you watch there, you'll see it cycle through. 100 Fahrenheit is the set temperature. Internal temperature right now, and humidity. So it's obviously not up to temperature yet. It was just turned on, and you got your colder button, your warmer button, your manual button, and your auto button. So I'm going to leave the temperature at 100. That's what we like to hatch at for chicken eggs. We've had good hatch rates like that. You want to be 99.5 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, ideally, or 100.5 at the most. So now, if I click this manual button and you pan over here, you're going to see the turning trays turn. So you want to push that, and then you can make sure that they're functioning. So it's beeping at us here. Now you can let go of the manual button and stop them when they're flat. Now I'll grab some trays to show you how they are inserted. The trays they sell separately because you need different trays according to what kind of eggs you're hatching. These are good for chicken eggs. This is a regular chicken egg tray. They've got bumpers pre-installed on the sides. So you slip a 45 egg tray in the back. You take another one after it's loaded with eggs. Oh, wrong way, sorry. Slip it in the back. And that's how they fit in here. I'll just show you all of them just to give you the whole picture. Slide it in. You want to handle your eggs a little better than this though. These ones we had to install the bumpers, so these new ones are kind of nice. You don't have to bother with that. These are some extra trays we already had. So there you go, they're in. Now I can click the manual button and it should beep at me. It's going to turn to the other side now. And then you'll see when it goes all the way to the end, it's going to stop and turn back. Now it does this exact motion, but it only does it 6 times a day. So you'll hear it kick on randomly when you're sitting at home. But so there you see it went both ways. And then to test the auto, you'll want to leave it flat, and then you click the auto button, and then it's going to turn one way, and then you can set a timer for I believe it's 3 hours. I'll have to look up the turning schedule if it's every 3 hours, but you click auto. Now on the side, the green auto button illuminates, and then they should turn on their own to the side. It waits for a bit to turn, and the reason for that is because it's waiting for you to be done loading your eggs. So if you've got a bunch of your eggs in here ready to hatch, you're loading them, you don't want it to turn on you. So anyways, we're gonna do that, and then you close it, take this egg out, and it's all done. I'll peel this off so you can see, but waits for you to turn, and I'll leave it for now, it's a little tricky to get off. Close it up, and you set it and forget it. After you add your water to the tray, obviously, and monitor your water if you don't have the water reserve, and you monitor your temperature, but it's just to make sure something doesn't go wacky. But and then load your eggs in the trays as I showed, pointy end down, put them in, turn it to auto, make sure that button's illuminated, and you can do the manual to turn it, and then you're going to see the auto button's off, so you want to make sure, is it a little delayed? There we go. You want to see that button illuminated all the time. So if you're checking your incubator, you want to make sure your green light's on, that the auto turner's on, you didn't forget it off, and that your temperature is still at 100 and what you're looking for. And when you need to adjust your humidity, these humidity plugs can be removed on the side, and then that's how you can actually do your wet bulb humidity reading. So that is a process where you take this aftermarket product GQF has. I believe we have one in here. Some tubing and stuff. And that one doesn't have one. So they give you a little package with a wick. Oh, there we go, it's turning. You can see it waited a minute or so, and now the turner is turning. So this is a little wick. It looks like a sock. I don't have one open handy here, but you take, I'm just going to borrow this. This is your thermometer. So this is your good backup kind of analog thermometer. And there's a little hole in the back where this can go. So you can double check your temperature. You put it in the back for temperature, and then when you want to read humidity, you get a little hole in one of these. Some of them are a little different, but and you put that wick on there, and then that's how you get your wet bulb temperature. It uses temperature, but it gives you humidity. So you put that wick on there, and then if you oh god, you don't do that because now this probably isn't reliable. You put that in there. It's got to slip in to hold tight. You put a little hole in it, and then actually they don't even I just might drill a hole up here. It would be better, a little hole the same size. Done that before. And then if you pan over here, you can see it'll stick somewhere up there. You put your little wick on there, it goes inside and it wicks up the water on this, and then you take that reading and you look at the chart that they have. I don't have it handy, but there's a chart you can get online, and it shows you with a wet bulb reading of, say, 93, what the actual temperature, or what the actual relative humidity is. So that's way more accurate than a relative humidity meter. And that's how you want to adjust your humidity. Anyways, I think I went too far with the logistics of hatching. We can go more in depth in another video, but basically, if you're going to get this, you need to know the basics, how to get it going, how to check your temperature and your humidity. So I think that's important, showing how to set one of these up. So that's that. This is your 1500. You can get the hatcher to go with it, or you can get just the Sportsman, like the 1202E we have over there. No, that's a Hovabator. This is the 1202E. That's the more basic model. It doesn't have the digital control center. Or you can get the digital control center that doesn't have the hatcher, the 1500. Or what most people get is the 1502. Got something stuck on me. The 1502, which has the turner, the digital control, and the hatching tray on the bottom. So you get the digital add-on. So that's how to set this one up. That's how to set up all of them, all the cabinet incubators essentially. A little bit differs, but thanks for watching if you watched till the end. And you can follow us on all of our videos on YouTube. We're going to be releasing more videos on YouTube. We're going to try and be more active on YouTube. We're just getting going, but thanks to our new subscribers. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this, or you want to see videos of our birds and our breeding. Ducks, geese, we're going to be incubating geese. In the spring again, we do chickens and ducks all year long. And we've been doing it for a little while now, and thanks for watching. If you like the homesteading, like I say, keep following us. Best Green Homestead on YouTube. Like us on Instagram at Best Green Homestead, follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. Still getting new to this. Anyways, that's that. I'm Josh, and thanks for tuning in to Best Green Homestead YouTube channel.